Something strange is happening in the luxury auto world. Western car makers, once untouchable, are suddenly looking over their shoulders. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, brands that stood for success and status for decades, are now facing a challenge they never expected. And it's coming from China. Huawei, known for tech, has teamed up with JAC to build a sleek new electric car, the Maextro S800. At first glance, it's just another EV. But behind the smooth design and bold price tag is something much bigger. This isn't just a vehicle. It's a direct shot at the heart of Western dominance. A sign that the luxury game has changed. Because now, the most advanced, most stylish, and most affordable option might not be German or American anymore. And that shift is already sending shockwaves through boardrooms, factories, and financial markets across the West. Here's how it all started. For decades, names like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi defined success. These weren't just cars. They were symbols of achievement, power, and elite engineering. From Beverly Hills to Berlin, owning one of these brands meant you had arrived. They dominated the luxury space for so long that the idea of serious competition felt unthinkable. But the ground is shifting. The Maextro S800 has flipped that belief on its head. Built by Huawei and JAC, it delivers premium quality, next-level tech, and a design that rivals the world's top sedans. All at a price that undercuts the old giants by a wide margin. And this time, the world is paying attention. What makes it even more disruptive is timing. Western luxury brands are already struggling with rising costs, aging platforms, and the slow transition to electric. Meanwhile, Huawei stepped in with a clean slate. No legacy baggage, just a focus on innovation. For years, the West dismissed Chinese cars as cheap or unrefined. But now the design language is fresh, the quality is high, and the features are competitive, if not superior. It's no longer about catching up. China has entered the race from the top, and it's pulling ahead fast. For Western brands that once owned the road, this is unfamiliar territory. The luxury badge alone isn't enough anymore. Consumers want value, tech, and vision, and that's exactly what the Maextro delivers. It's not just stealing attention, it's forcing the entire industry to rethink what luxury even means. The Maxro S800 isn't just getting attention, it's setting a new standard. Priced between $98,000 and $142,000, it delivers a level of performance and luxury once reserved for cars 4 times as expensive. Compare that to the Mercedes-Maybach S680, which starts at over $416,000, and the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Under the hood, the Maxro is a powerhouse. Its 3 electric motors produce a combined 852 horsepower, launching the car with ease and precision. On a full charge, it travels up to 702 kilometers, putting it ahead of most Western competitors. And thanks to Huawei's 5C fast-charging tech, the battery goes from 10% to 80% in just 12 minutes. An industry game-changer. Step inside, and the message is just as clear. The interior is built around Huawei's Harmony OS, with a seamless triple-screen dashboard and 40 surround speakers delivering a cinematic experience. The cabin includes zero-gravity seats, a starlight ceiling, and materials that rival Rolls-Royce in both quality and detail. But what really makes the Maxro stand out is how it merges cutting-edge software with luxury comfort. It's not just about speed or leather. This car is a tech ecosystem on wheels. Huawei brings its strengths in AI, connectivity, and user interface design directly into the driver's seat. With over 6,500 pre-orders in the first month, demand is proving the point. Consumers want more than a badge. They want innovation, experience, and value. And that's exactly what the Maxro S800 delivers. The Maextro S800 is only one piece of a much larger shift, and that shift is reshaping the global auto industry from the ground up. What we're seeing is not just a product breakthrough, but a strategic transformation, and China is leading it. Right now, Chinese companies control 60% to 75% of the world's battery components, from lithium refining to cathode production. Giants like BYD and CATL account for more than half of global battery output. That control gives them a 20% to 30% cost advantage even before a single car is assembled. And while Western brands rely on complex global supply chains, Chinese firms are vertically integrated. They own the mines, the materials, and the factories. This deep integration isn't just about efficiency. It allows for faster innovation, smoother scaling, and much lower prices. Western automakers, stuck with outdated platforms and external suppliers, simply can't match that speed or cost structure. That's why price wars are erupting across Europe and Asia. In 2024, BMW slashed the price of its iX3 by over $20,000 to stay in the game. But even that wasn't enough. Tesla's market share in Europe dropped sharply, and its Model Y is now losing ground to BYD's Seal and Dolphin models. Meanwhile, Chinese brands aren't just catching up in quality, they're setting new benchmarks in software, design, and user experience. The Maextro S800 is proof. The West is no longer defending its lead, it's scrambling to keep pace as the entire industry tilts eastward. Western automakers are starting to feel the pressure, and the numbers prove it. In the third quarter of 2024, BMW's sales in China dropped by nearly 30%, while Mercedes-Benz saw a 10% decline. These aren't small fluctuations. For companies that rely heavily on Chinese buyers, often for a third of their global revenue, this is a major financial hit. At the same time, Tesla's registrations in the European Union fell by 45% year over year. That's a dramatic loss in one of the world's key EV markets, and it didn't happen in a vacuum. In April 2025, BYD sold 7,231 electric vehicles in Europe, overtaking Tesla's 7,165 units, even with up to 45% EU tariffs on Chinese EVs. That's how competitive Chinese brands have become. It's not just about pricing anymore. Chinese automakers are building products that resonate with consumers, and they're investing aggressively. BYD is constructing a factory in Hungary, allowing it to bypass import taxes and deliver cars directly to the European market. The result? Profit margins on BYD's European sales have soared, with some models generating up to 112% markups. Meanwhile, even the tech elite are paying attention. During his visit to Beijing in July, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang made headlines by saying, "Chinese electric vehicles are the best in the world." Coming from one of America's most influential tech leaders, that's not a compliment. It's a wake-up call. The traditional leaders of the auto world are being squeezed from every angle. Their grip on the luxury and EV markets is slipping fast. What's driving this shift isn't just technology, it's pride. A growing number of Chinese consumers are no longer impressed by Western badges. Instead, they see homegrown brands as symbols of national progress. The Maextro S800 isn't viewed as a cheaper alternative to a Mercedes or BMW. It's seen as something to be proud of. A statement that China can lead, not follow. This wave of consumer confidence is reshaping the luxury market. According to the China Passenger Car Association, domestic brands made up over 58% of EV sales in China by mid-2025, up from just 43% 2 years earlier. It's not just about cost. Design, software, and build quality have all improved dramatically. And when these improvements are backed by patriotic sentiment, the impact becomes even stronger. Chinese automakers understand this momentum and are leaning into it. Launch campaigns for the Maextro S800 highlight not just performance, but Chinese innovation, craftsmanship, and global ambition. It's working. Younger buyers, especially in urban areas, now see domestic brands as modern, stylish, and future-ready. This cultural shift makes it even harder for Western automakers to recover lost ground. Because when a brand becomes part of national identity, competing on specs or price isn't enough. Huawei's entry into the EV space is more than just a new name on the badge. It's a shift in the rules of the game. With its background in telecom, cloud, and AI, Huawei is doing what traditional automakers can't, turning the car into a smart, connected platform. The Maextro S800 is a showcase of that vision. It's not just fast and luxurious, it's intelligent. powered by Harmony OS. The car runs a seamless digital environment that integrates everything from navigation and entertainment to real-time diagnostics and smart home syncing. This level of integration isn't a side feature, it's becoming the core product. Modern EVs are evolving into mobile data hubs, capable of connecting to smart cities, managing power usage, and communicating directly with infrastructure. And Huawei is perfectly positioned to lead this transformation. It's not just about driving anymore. It's about how vehicles fit into the broader digital ecosystem, from urban planning to national grids. With China investing heavily in smart infrastructure, Huawei's EV push aligns perfectly with the country's long-term strategy. That makes every Maextro sold not just a car, but a node in a larger network of control, data, and influence. For Western automakers, this is unfamiliar terrain. And falling behind in this space comes with bigger risks than just losing sales. The rise of China's EV industry isn't just an economic win, it's a geopolitical shift. As Chinese automakers grow, so does Beijing's grip on the critical supply chains that power the global auto market. The West depends heavily on Chinese-made components, from batteries and semiconductors to rare earth materials. According to the International Energy Agency, over 75% of global battery cell production now takes place in China, along with nearly 90% of rare earth refining capacity. This creates a dangerous imbalance. Western automakers rely on stable access to these materials, but any disruption, political or economic, can cripple production. The European Union, for example, imports more than 80% of its battery materials and close to 70% of its EV electronics from China. The US faces similar vulnerabilities, especially in lithium-ion supply chains. This dependence isn't just inconvenient, it weakens industrial sovereignty. When a single country controls essential inputs, it gains quiet leverage over the decisions of others. And that leverage extends far beyond the showroom. It reaches into labor markets, defense capabilities, and infrastructure plans. Meanwhile, China isn't standing still. It's securing new supply deals in Africa and Latin America, building gigafactories across Asia and Europe, and embedding its standards into future mobility systems. Western countries, once rule-makers, are now reacting to rules written elsewhere. The Maxro S800 is just one example of this deeper shift. Each new Chinese EV that rolls off the line reinforces a reality where control over the supply chain equals power on the global stage. Every Maextro S800 rolling off the production line isn't just a car, it's a shift in global control. China isn't competing anymore. It's setting the pace, writing the rules, and exporting its model of dominance through design, tech, and supply chains. Meanwhile, the West is stuck playing catch-up, losing leverage with every passing quarter. So here's the question. Is this the tipping point where China takes the lead for good? Or can the US and Europe still recover lost ground? Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives like this. See you in the next video.